Every once in a while, a single copper penny can rewrite history, awaken forgotten treasure hunts, and quietly change a collector's life forever. Hidden in dusty jars, old drawers, and inherited coin boxes are Lincoln wheat pennies that carry stories of war, prosperity, mistakes, and extraordinary survival. Today, we dive deep into the most sought-after and valuable wheat cents that still ignite fierce demand in the numismatic world. Their metal may be humble, but their legacy is powerful, their rarity misunderstood, and their potential surprising. Stay with me, because what looks like ordinary pocket change could hold extraordinary value, and every detail matters. 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark represents a fascinating intersection of post-war America, booming industrial confidence, and one of the most collected coin series in history. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally carried no mint mark at the time, this penny emerged during a year when the United States was transitioning from wartime production into full economic expansion. The Korean War had begun the previous year, inflation pressures were rising, and copper demand was surging across manufacturing and defense industries. Despite these pressures, the U.S. Mint maintained consistent production of Lincoln cents to meet everyday circulation needs, producing hundreds of millions of coins for daily commerce. The Lincoln wheat design itself was already more than 4 decades old in 1951, having debuted in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse had become one of the most recognized images in American numismatics. Lincoln's dignified profile, calm expression, and finely detailed beard lines symbolize stability, leadership, and national identity. The inscriptions remain timeless. "In God We Trust" arched across the top, "Liberty" positioned to the left, and the date firmly anchored to the right. On Philadelphia issues like the 1951, the absence of a mint mark under the date instantly identifies its origin. The reverse showcases 2 elegant wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum centered above. The wheat ears symbolize agricultural prosperity, growth, and national self-reliance, reflecting early 20th century American values. By 1951, this design had already circulated through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and dramatic shifts in American industry. Yet it remained beloved by collectors and the public alike. Mintage figures for the 1951 Philadelphia wheat penny reached approximately 475 million coins, making it far from rare in raw production terms. This massive output ensured that the coins circulated widely in grocery stores, vending machines, parking meters, and payphones across the nation. However, high mintage does not automatically translate to plentiful surviving examples in collectible condition. Copper cents are prone to corrosion, spotting, environmental damage, and heavy wear, especially when stored improperly. Many 1951 cents were spent heavily during the 1950s and 1960s before coin collecting surged in popularity, meaning pristine survivors are significantly scarcer than raw mintage suggests. In fine condition, the 1951 wheat penny typically displays moderate wear across Lincoln's hair and cheek, with major details still visible but softened. The wheat stalks on the reverse remain clear, though the fine lines inside the stalks may begin to blend. Lettering should be fully readable, and the overall surfaces may exhibit natural circulation, toning ranging from brown to reddish-brown hues, depending on storage history. Collectors appreciate fine examples because they preserve enough detail to convey the original artistry while remaining affordable and accessible. Market value for a standard 1951 Philadelphia wheat penny in fine condition generally ranges from a modest amount, often between a few cents to $1, depending on eye appeal, surface quality, and color. While this might seem underwhelming compared to headline-grabbing rarities, collector demand remains steady because wheat pennies form the backbone of countless date and mint sets. Beginners, intermediate collectors, and nostalgic hobbyists consistently seek clean examples to complete albums, making liquidity surprisingly strong for such a common issue. Where the 1951 penny becomes far more intriguing is in its error potential and condition rarity at higher grades. Die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and lamination errors occasionally surface, commanding premiums that can range from tens to hundreds of dollars depending on severity and eye appeal. Doubled dies, while not as famous as the legendary 1955 doubled die cent, still exist in subtle forms and can generate significant collector interest when authenticated. Red and red-brown examples preserved in near-mint condition are far scarcer than their brown circulated counterparts. Copper oxidizes quickly when exposed to air and humidity, so surviving coins that retain original mint luster and bright coloration are increasingly difficult to locate. In uncirculated grades, especially those certified at MS 65 and above, values can climb into the tens or even hundreds of dollars, driven by registry competition among serious collectors striving for top population sets. Another layer of demand comes from historical collectors who appreciate the context of early Cold War America. The 1951 penny circulated during the rise of suburban expansion, the growth of television culture, and the transformation of the American workforce. Every surviving coin quietly witnessed millions of daily transactions, passing through countless hands, pockets, and purses before settling into modern collections. From a metallurgical standpoint, the 1951 wheat penny contains 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it intrinsic metal value tied to copper markets. While melt value fluctuates and coins cannot legally be melted for profit in the United States, rising copper prices continue to reinforce public fascination with pre-1982 cents. This ongoing interest keeps wheat pennies firmly embedded in popular collecting culture. Collector demand for the 1951 no-mint mark cent remains strong because it balances affordability, historical relevance, and visual appeal. It is often one of the first wheat cents new collectors acquire, yet advanced collectors still seek superior examples for condition upgrades or error varieties. The coin's availability ensures active trading, while its potential for discovery keeps the hunt exciting. What truly elevates the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny is not its immediate market price, but its role as a gateway into numismatics. It teaches collectors how to grade copper, identify mint characteristics, recognize subtle errors, and appreciate historical continuity. In a hobby driven by detail, patience, and discovery, this penny embodies the foundational experience of coin collecting itself. For many collectors, finding a clean 1951 wheat penny in fine condition sparks nostalgia and curiosity. It represents a tangible link to grandparents' pocket change, childhood coin jars, and the thrill of searching rolls for hidden treasures. Even in its modest valuation tier, it remains an essential piece of American monetary history and a reminder that every great collection begins with simple, honest coins. When viewed through the lens of long-term collecting trends, wheat pennies continue to gain steady appreciation and demand as fewer high-quality examples survive each decade. Album filling, generational transfers, and ongoing educational programs ensure that Lincoln cents remain the most widely collected U.S. coin series. The 1951 Philadelphia issue, though common on paper, gradually becomes more selective in premium quality segments. In the end, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark and fine condition stands as a cornerstone of American numismatics. It carries the weight of post-war optimism, classic design heritage, and enduring collector enthusiasm. Its story proves that value in numismatics is not always measured by price alone, but by history preserved, knowledge gained, and the passion it inspires in those who continue the search. 1952 Lincoln wheat penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark carries forward the quiet momentum of a nation firmly rooted in post-war expansion, optimism, and industrial acceleration. Minted in Philadelphia during a period when America's manufacturing power dominated the global stage, this penny flowed into everyday commerce at a time when families were purchasing their first televisions, suburban neighborhoods were rapidly growing, and consumer spending was reaching new highs. Coins were not merely currency. They were tangible markers of a transforming society. Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains the commanding centerpiece on the obverse. Lincoln's steady gaze, sharply defined jawline, and flowing hair detail evoke leadership, endurance, and national unity. Even in fine condition, most of these features remain recognizable. though light smoothing across the highest points of Lincoln's cheekbone and coat may appear from circulation. The inscriptions, "I in God we trust," "Liberty," and the date 1952 frame the portrait with clarity, while the absence of a mint mark beneath the date identifies this coin as a Philadelphia issue. The reverse maintains the beloved wheat ear design that collectors often associate with the golden age of American small coinage. The twin wheat stalks curve inward toward the central inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, while E pluribus unum floats above in modest lettering. The symbolism remains deeply rooted in agricultural prosperity and national stability, echoing values that resonated strongly with Americans during the early 1950s. Mintage for the 1952 Philadelphia wheat penny reached approximately 186 million coins, significantly lower than some surrounding years, but still substantial by modern standards. This lower production figure adds a subtle layer of collectability compared to higher mintage issues, especially when quality preservation becomes the primary differentiator. Millions of these coins entered circulation immediately and endured decades of handling, storage in drawers, exposure to moisture, and accidental damage, thinning the population of well-preserved survivors. In fine condition, a 1952 wheat penny displays moderate where that softens the highest design elements while retaining strong overall definition. Lincoln's facial outline remains bold, the wheat stalks are still clearly separated, and most lettering remains crisp and readable. The surfaces typically exhibit brown toning with occasional hints of red remaining in protected areas. Collectors often favor evenly toned examples with minimal spotting, corrosion, or distracting marks. Market value for a standard fine-grade 1952 Philadelphia wheat penny generally ranges from modest premiums above face value, often between 25 cents and a couple of dollars, depending on eye appeal and dealer demand. While this might not capture headlines, steady liquidity ensures that these coins consistently trade within the collector marketplace. Album fillers, bulk wheat penny collectors, and casual hobbyists maintain consistent demand for attractive circulated examples. Where excitement begins to rise is in the realm of error coins and high-grade survivors. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and lamination errors occasionally surface and can command premiums from collectors who specialize in mint anomalies. Minor double-die varieties exist as well, though they require careful magnification and professional attribution to verify. These varieties transform an otherwise common penny into a conversation piece with elevated desirability. Uncirculated examples, particularly those retaining original red or red-brown luster, are far more elusive than circulated counterparts. COPPA's sensitivity to environmental exposure means that pristine coins must have been stored carefully from the moment they left the mint. Certified mint state examples in grades such as MS 64 and MS 65 can command prices ranging from tens to over $100 depending on color designation and population scarcity. Collector demand for the 1952 wheat penny is strengthened by its role as a transitional era artifact. It circulated during the height of the Korean War, early Cold War tensions, and rapid domestic economic growth. These coins passed through the hands of factory workers, soldiers on leave, school children buying candy, and families filling station wagons with gasoline at prices unimaginable today. Each coin silently absorbed decades of human history before settling into modern collections. From a design preservation standpoint, collectors often compare strike quality across Philadelphia issues, noting slight variations in wheat stalk sharpness and Lincoln's hair detail. Well-struck examples with balanced centering and smooth fields draw premiums even within the same grade category. Eye appeal plays a significant role in collector preference, especially for circulated copper coins where color and surface quality dramatically influence desirability. The copper composition of the 1952 wheat penny reinforces its physical presence and weight, giving it a satisfying solidity in hand. The warm tone of aged copper connects collectors to a bygone era of metal-based currency that feels increasingly distant in a digital economy. This tactile appeal continues to attract new generations of hobbyists who appreciate tangible history. The 1952 no mint mark penny also benefits from educational demand. It is commonly used in grading exercises, beginner coin clubs, and collector workshops due to its availability and clear design features. Learning to distinguish fine, very fine, and extremely fine grades on this coin teaches valuable skills in assessing wear patterns, luster remnants, and strike quality. Over time, as collectors remove better quality examples from circulation and place them into long-term collections, the available supply of attractive pieces gradually tightens. This slow attrition supports steady price stability and incremental appreciation, particularly for higher-grade certified coins. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny may not command dramatic auction headlines, but its enduring appeal lies in consistency, historical presence, and dependable collector interest. It represents the quiet strength of the Wheat Cent series, where millions of modest coins collectively tell the story of a nation in motion. For many collectors, discovering a clean 1952 penny in fine condition still delivers genuine satisfaction. It completes album slots, enriches inherited collections, and serves as a stepping stone toward deeper numismatic exploration. Each example carries subtle uniqueness in toning, or patterns, and microscopic imperfections that make no two coins exactly alike. Ultimately, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark stands as a testament to durability, continuity, and accessible collecting. Its story reinforces the idea that numismatic value extends beyond rarity alone, embracing history, craftsmanship, and the timeless joy of discovery that fuels every successful coin hunt. 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark emerges from a year defined by leadership transition, economic momentum, and the closing chapter of the classic wheat cent era, which would end just 5 years later in 1958. Minted in Philadelphia, this coin entered circulation as Dwight D. Eisenhower assumed the presidency. The Korean War concluded, and American households embraced new technologies, modern appliances, and expanding suburban lifestyles. This penny quietly circulated during one of the most optimistic periods in mid-century American history. The obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains a masterpiece of small-scale engraving, capturing dignity and resolve in every contour. Even in fine condition, Lincoln's facial outline remains strong, with recognizable hair separation, visible ear shape, and readable inscriptions. "In God We Trust" arches clearly above the portrait, "Liberty" stands firm to the left, and the date 1953 anchors the composition to the right. The absence of a mint mark confirms its Philadelphia origin, which traditionally produced the highest volume of cents for national circulation. The reverse wheat stalk design continues to symbolize agricultural strength and national growth. The wheat ears curve inward symmetrically, framing the bold lettering of 1 cent and United States of America. E pluribus unum rests modestly above, tying together the collective identity of the nation. The design feels balanced and timeless, reinforcing why wheat cents remain among the most beloved American coin series. Mintage for the 1953 Philadelphia Wheat Penny reached approximately 256 million coins, placing it comfortably in the mid-range of production numbers for the era. While not scarce by raw numbers, the decades of circulation, environmental exposure, and casual handling have significantly reduced the pool of well-preserved survivors. Many examples exhibit heavy wear, corrosion, or surface damage from improper storage in basements, jars, or humid environments. In fine condition, the 1953 penny retains clear lettering and recognizable design elements, while showing noticeable smoothing on Lincoln's highest facial features and the wheat stalk ridges. The coin typically displays brown or chocolate toning, occasionally accented with lighter highlights where wear has polished the copper surface. Collectors value evenly worn examples with clean fields, minimal spotting, and balanced coloration. Market value for a fine-grade 1953 wheat penny generally ranges from modest premiums, typically between 30 cents and a few dollars depending on eye appeal, market conditions, and dealer inventory. Demand remains stable because collectors continue assembling complete wheat cent date runs, and the 1953 slot remains a necessary component of most albums. The real intrigue emerges when examining error varieties and exceptional preservation. Die cracks, clipped planchets, off-center strikes, and lamination flaws periodically appear and attract specialized collectors who seek unusual minting anomalies. Subtle double dyes exist as well, though professional attribution is essential to confirm authenticity and avoid misidentification. High-grade uncirculated examples with original mint luster are considerably scarcer. Copper coins from the 1950s are notoriously difficult to preserve in pristine condition due to oxidation and handling marks. Coins graded MS 65 red or better often command prices exceeding $100, driven by registry competition and limited population counts. Collector demand for the 1953 Wheat Penny is supported by its position near the end of the Wheat Cent series. As the Lincoln Memorial reverse would replace the wheat design in 1959, collectors increasingly appreciate late-date wheat cents as the final representatives of a historic era. The 1953 issue stands close to that transition, making it symbolically significant. Historically, these pennies circulated during a time of cultural transformation. Drive-in theaters, expanding highway systems, and the early space race were reshaping American life. Every coin witnessed countless everyday transactions that collectively form a living archive of economic behavior. From a strike quality perspective, collectors often note that many 1953 Philadelphia cents exhibit strong detail compared to earlier wartime issues. Well-centered strikes with crisp wheat lines and defined lettering draw premium attention even in circulated grades. The copper composition continues to enhance the coin's tactile appeal and enduring fascination. The warm weight and natural patina of aged copper evoke a sense of authenticity rarely matched by modern clad coinage. Educationally, the 1953 Wheat Penny serves as a teaching tool for grading consistency, error identification, and historical context within numismatics. It is frequently used by instructors and hobby groups to demonstrate how circulation affects copper surfaces over time. As decades pass, attrition slowly reduces the available supply of attractive examples, supporting gradual appreciation and sustained collector interest. While dramatic price surges are unlikely for common circulated pieces, steady demand ensures ongoing market activity. For collectors, finding a pleasing 1953 Wheat Penny in fine condition offers a sense of continuity and accomplishment. It connects personal collecting journeys with national history and reinforces the timeless pleasure of discovery. Ultimately, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark represents stability, craftsmanship, and historical resonance. Its modest valuation does not diminish its importance within the broader numismatic landscape, where every coin contributes to a greater narrative of American monetary heritage. 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark occupies one of the most fascinating positions in American numismatics, largely because the year itself is legendary among collectors. While most people associate 1955 with the famous double die error, the standard Philadelphia strike without dramatic doubling carries its own historical depth, market stability, and steady collector demand. These pennies flowed into circulation during a decade defined by booming consumer culture, rising automobile ownership, expanding suburbs, and the emergence of television as a dominant influence in American households. The obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains instantly recognizable, with Brenner's sculpted lines preserving the president's dignified expression. In fine condition, Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat show visible smoothing, yet the overall portrait remains strong and well-defined. In God We Trust arches clearly above the portrait, Liberty remains legible at the left, and the date 1955 anchors the coin firmly in mid-century America. The absence of a mint mark confirms its Philadelphia origin, distinguishing it from Denver and San Francisco issues. The reverse wheat stalk design remains unchanged, offering visual continuity with decades of prior Lincoln cents. The paired wheat ears symbolize agricultural abundance and economic resilience, framing 1 cent and United States of America with balanced symmetry. E pluribus unum floats above, subtly reinforcing national unity. Even after decades of circulation, the reverse often retains enough structure to showcase the artistry that made the wheat cent beloved by generations of collectors. Mintage for the standard 1955 Philadelphia Wheat Penny exceeded 330 million coins, making it abundant in raw numbers. However, the year's notoriety due to the double die variety has elevated attention toward all 1955 cents, driving sustained collector interest even for normal strikes. Many collectors actively examine 1955 pennies hoping to discover the famous error, which keeps demand and market liquidity unusually strong for this date. In fine condition, the 1955 penny displays moderate, with flattened high points, but retains readable lettering and visible wheat separation. The surfaces often exhibit even brown toning, sometimes with subtle red highlights in protected areas. Collectors prioritize examples with smooth fields, minimal corrosion, and pleasing color balance. Market value for a normal 1955 wheat penny in fine condition typically ranges from 50 cents to several dollars, depending on eye appeal and regional demand. While not rare, the heightened visibility of the 1955 date increases turnover and collector interest compared to many neighboring years. The error potential for 1955 remains a driving force in its popularity. While the famous double die is extremely valuable, minor doubling, die cracks, repunch dates, and off-center strikes also attract niche collectors. Even small anomalies can generate premiums when authenticated. High-grade, uncirculated examples of the normal strike are more elusive than many expect. The surge in roll searching over the decades has already removed many premium examples from circulation. Coins certified in MS 65 red can command significant premiums due to collector competition and limited surviving populations. Historically, the 1955 penny circulated during a golden age of American manufacturing, consumer optimism, and cultural expansion. These coins were part of everyday transactions during the rise of rock and roll, highway construction, and suburban living. Collector psychology also plays a role in demand. Many hobbyists begin their wheat cent journey searching for the famous double die, and in the process, they accumulate normal 1955 examples, reinforcing ongoing market activity. From a design perspective, well-struck 1955 cents often display crisp wheat lines and balanced centering, making them visually appealing even in circulated grades. The copper composition continues to support tactile appeal and intrinsic fascination tied to metal value and historical authenticity. As time progresses, attrition reduces the number of attractive circulated examples, slowly strengthening long-term collectability. Ultimately, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark remains a cornerstone date driven by legend, accessibility, and enduring collector enthusiasm, proving that even common coins can carry extraordinary stories. 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny 1 cent coin with mint mark D in fine condition. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark represents the final full year of the classic wheat cent before its historic transition to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin entered circulation during a period of remarkable technological progress, cultural evolution, and growing economic confidence in the United States. The launch of the space race, expanding interstate highways, and rapid suburban development shaped daily life. And these pennies moved through millions of everyday transactions that quietly documented a nation accelerating into the modern era. The obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains the enduring face of American small coinage. In fine condition, Lincoln's hairlines, cheek contours, and jaw remain visible, though gently smoothed from circulation. In God We Trust arches clearly above, Liberty remains readable on the left, and the date 1957 appears crisp beneath Lincoln's profile. The small D mint mark position below the date identifies this coin as a Denver issue, distinguishing it from Philadelphia and San Francisco productions and adding an extra layer of interest for mint set collectors. The reverse wheat stalk design, nearing the end of its historic run, carries an added sense of nostalgia and legacy. The twin wheat ears curve inward, framing 1 cent and United States of America with balanced symmetry, while E pluribus unum rests above. Collectors often appreciate late-date wheat cents for their symbolic connection to the closing chapter of a beloved design era. Mintage for the 1957 D wheat penny reached approximately 1.05 billion coins, making it one of the highest production years in the entire Wheat Cent series. This massive output ensured widespread circulation and long-term availability. However, sheer quantity does not eliminate collector interest, especially when condition, strike quality, and error varieties are considered. In fine condition, the 1957 D penny exhibits moderate, wherewith visible wheat separation, readable lettering, and smooth but intact facial features on Lincoln. Surface toning typically ranges from medium brown to darker chocolate hues, sometimes accompanied by minor circulation marks. Collectors seek evenly worn examples with clean surfaces and balanced coloration. Market value for a fine-grade 1957 D Wheat penny generally remains modest, often ranging from 25 cents to $1, depending on eye appeal and local demand. However, strong liquidity ensures consistent buying and selling activity among collectors and dealers. Error varieties add excitement to this date. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and lamination errors appear occasionally and command premiums. Minor doubled dies also exist and can significantly elevate value when properly authenticated. High-grade uncirculated examples are increasingly sought after, particularly those retaining red mint luster. Despite the high mintage, truly pristine coins are far less common due to storage conditions and handling. Certified MS 66 red examples can reach substantial premiums driven by registry competition. Collector demand for the 1957 D is reinforced by its status as one of the final wheat cents. Many collectors intentionally seek late-date wheat pennies to complete nostalgic sets representing the end of an era. Historically, these pennies circulated during the early stages of the space race, television dominance, and shifting cultural trends. Each coin witnessed countless everyday exchanges that collectively mirror American progress. From a strike quality perspective, Denver issues often exhibit strong detail and consistent production quality, making well-struck examples visually appealing. The copper composition continues to attract collectors due to intrinsic value fascination and tactile authenticity. Educationally, the 1957 D Wheat penny is widely used for teaching grading consistency and error identification due to its availability and clear design elements. As attrition slowly reduces the supply of attractive examples, long-term collectability remains stable and dependable. Ultimately, the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat penny in fine condition represents closure, continuity, and enduring appeal within American numismatics, preserving the legacy of the wheat cent for future generations. If you enjoyed discovering hidden coin treasures, don't forget to like, subscribe, so you never miss a rare coin story again. Share your finds in the comments. You might be the next collector with a hidden fortune. See you in the next treasure hunt on Coins Numismatic Series.